Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another 1 hour bicycle vlog. I don't know how much longer I can do these. It's getting more and more hot these days. And I hope it's not too windy because I was trying to avoid the wind over here. And I made a left. But I wanted to make a quick update on... oh, it's really windy. Maybe I should turn around. It's like anywhere you go, it's like windy though. You have to go, I'll probably have to go this way. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll just go back this way. I thought maybe if I turned it'd be less windy, but yeah, I wanted to make a quick update on what's happening as far as the virus goes around here. I mean, nothing has really changed. I think people are just gearing up for the Olympics, but yeah, people are gearing for the Olympics, but they just recently lifted the lockdown. So people, especially in Tokyo, they're saying that this early lift of the lockdown is actually they're predicting that the infections are gonna go up, which is kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of common sense because, all right, they're kind of slow on the vaccines, and at the same time you're letting people out and do whatever they want. So and people trust the government, so when the government says to stay inside, people will stay inside. And when the government says it's okay to go out, people are gonna go outside. So I mean, and then people, and from the recent, sorry if it's windy, but from the past lockdowns, when they lift the lockdowns, it goes up. So I mean, it's just kind of common sense that this lift of lockdown, it's going to nice people, they always, when they ever see like a bicycle, they always go back inside. But yeah, so yeah, since the other lockdown lifts, there has been increase of people getting infected. So I am assuming that people, that especially in Tokyo, when the Olympics are going to happen, there's going to be a crazy increase, not crazy, but there's going to be an increase of cases. This is kind of common sense. So I'm assuming they're saying in Tokyo that they're going to have a quasi lockdown, meaning that they have, I think I've explained this into maybe the other video as well, is they're not going to let people drink. They're gonna let people into establishments from like, I forgot the time, but it was like from like, I know I said in the other video, either from like 2 to 7, or it was either like 2 to 7 or 11 to 7, 2 to 9. But they're going to let people drink, but if you're going to drink, you have to drink only for 90 minutes. So I think they realize that people are getting infected through eating at restaurants and bars and clubs and all of these, where you're going to take off your mask. So they're trying to limit the people drinking by like the hours that they're there. And I don't think it's going to work, honestly. And right now there's only like 18% of people with like of the elderly with both doses, or it's just, you know, I don't know the exact numbers, but they're very low of people getting vaccinations, and they're making it really hard for people to get vaccinations here. So that's what it is for now. I wanted to talk about how, in my opinion, I feel Japan is boring. And you know, I think I think if you watch all my bicycle vlogs, I think, and if you're subscribed to the channel, that I'm sure, like, I'm not trying to be malice, or you know what, I also don't want it to be any type of clickbait, because I usually never clickbait, so it's not really clickbait, and I don't like clickbaiting people. So this is my honest opinion. And before I even start with that, I want to just mention all the good things about Japan, and how good it is to live here. And alright, I'm gonna run this red. You're not supposed to run reds. Alright, so I just saw on a recent report, I think it was like Bloomberg or something like that, how Osaka is like top 10 livable places in the world, as far as like the economy and like you know, just, I forgot what the other things were, but like as far as like comfortability and other things like that, Osaka was on the list. I believe it was like maybe 4 or 5 on the most livable cities in the world, and I think Tokyo was on there as well. But you know, they're very, I feel like, I don't know how they get these types of rankings, because I feel like it's really hard to tell. And to be honest, living here in Osaka, yeah, I guess it's very livable. You know, it's really nice to live here. They make it really easy for people to just like have a normal life here. Like you can have a normal type of job and live a comfortable life, and that's one reason why I really like living here, and I could see myself living here forever, actually. Yeah, and also too, like, oh, it's cool there. Oh, I've been looking for a basketball court, like an indoor basketball court, but it's a school. But yeah, and they also take care of like pensioners here, so like, you know, if I wanted to retire here, I could, and you know, just live a comfortable life even when I'm older. Now, I don't think you can have like an amazing life, because I've talked to a lot of foreign teachers who have lived here, and you know, they have said they can't really, it's really hard to live off like an English teacher salary, because you know, there's a certain extent, like you're not going to be making tons of money being an English teacher in Japan. You can only make so much money here. But I think if the wife makes, you know, a decent amount, I think if the teacher makes, not teacher, if like your partner can make just enough money as the foreign teacher, I think you can live a comfortable life. These kids playing basketball. This is the only basketball hoop I've seen that's just like open to the public, but it's like, it has dirt. I want to shoot around sometimes, but yeah, I think, like, I mean, like if you work for a company and you're making like, you know, $2,000, and if you're a teacher and you make like $3,000, I mean, I think you can live comfortably off that. And I think a lot of people in Japan make a living off that. I hope it's not so windy, like the noise. And I think a lot of times too here, the wife doesn't, like the woman in the marriage, they usually don't even work. A lot of times they have a lot of stay-at-home moms. So, you know, I mean, I'm just guessing. I mean, they could probably be making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month. They live off that salary. And I also noticed that I feel like Japanese people can save a lot of money. Like even the these kids skateboarding. I don't know if you can see through there. It's pretty cool. That's cool. I'm gonna come down through this little place here. Alright, so yeah, so a lot of moms stay at home and oh, look at this guy come up. Oh! Alright, sorry about that. I don't know if this video can be even used if it's so windy. It's just so windy everywhere. I wonder if I just go the opposite way, it's gonna be less windy then. I might have to. Maybe I'll make a left, go straight and then make another left. But as I was saying before, yeah, I think a lot of Japanese people just know how to save their money because I actually had this it was kind of like a part-time gig I did like 2 weeks ago, where I went over to, it was kind of like a babysitting job where you talk to the babies, to this like two-year-old, and I noticed in their house they didn't really have much. Even the kids, the kid that I was supposed to teach, he didn't have much either. And I think a lot of Japanese people, I mean, I don't know, this was only one house, but maybe they practice like minimalist living, like where they don't need a lot of things. So I think in that way they save a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, if you can bring in probably like the average household salary for Japan, I feel like you can live a pretty comfortable life in Japan. Also too, I think just everything about Japan is really nice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's awesome living here. Now, with that being said, and I can probably go on and on how great Japan is, but also too, Japan is kind of boring. You know, and I think sometimes boring is good. You know, like it's a good place to raise a family. You know, you kind of want to raise a family in a boring place, I feel like. And it's kind of like very, I don't know, it's very like, I don't want to say routine, but it's just people, it's like people go to work, come back, kids go to school, come back. It's very like, there's no spontaneity. And that's just how everything works. So it kind of just makes sense to everybody living here. So if you're Japanese, I think, oh, a big cloud of smoke just came out of that truck. Yeah, I think people are so used to like the routine of things, generally, that like people just get used to it. To them it's not boring, I think. And I was thinking another thing too, that I think, oh my god, that's a loud street. I was just thinking the other day that, and that's the reason why I thought of this video, because I feel like I'm the only foreigner that I know that doesn't like anime. And I don't think there's anything wrong with anime. I'm just not into it. I've watched a few animes before. I've watched I've watched the car stuff. Like I watched I want to go through this small street. Maybe it'll be less windier. All right, we're gonna, sorry if it was really windy. All right, so I've watched like Initial D, which is like about this kid who races up on a mountain, and I watched that kind of anime. But the people, like the foreigners that live here, the expat community, they a lot of them come here because they like the anime, because they grew up watching anime. They want to be where it's at. And you know, if you like something, you probably want to be where all the action's at. And if you love anime, Japan is probably the best place to be if that's what you like. So I think if you really enjoy anime, I feel like Japan is probably like a really exciting place to be. Now I don't know about like anime like events. Like I know they have some back home, like maybe some like, I don't know, it's called cosplay events, or you know, these types of anime events. Check out this house here. This like skinny looking house with a high ceiling, and they have a little bit of grass. So yeah, I mean, like I feel like, you know, because I've seen foreigners here, and you know, they're always wearing some sort of anime, not always, but like I see a lot of, because I saw a girl in my neighborhood, which there aren't that many foreigners, and she was wearing like a Pokemon shirt. So I'm assuming she loves anime. So I think to them, and you know, I feel like if you're gonna be watching anime, like I'm not saying that you would be boring, but I feel like this kind of lifestyle is more fit for you. And again, I'm saying too, like I'm not saying boring is bad. I think boring is good sometimes. Like I moved to the suburbs in a boring area because the city was too noisy. And it's like the trade-off. Like it's boring, but I enjoy the quietness. I enjoy, oh, look at this cat. Look at this guy. Just sleeping. Gotta check the camera. Take a picture of this. Yeah, so it's a big trade-off because, you know, when I first moved here, I lived in the city and it was so noisy. Like I couldn't stand it anymore. So I ended up moving to the suburbs out here, and it's boring, but at the same time it's really nice because it's nice and quiet. I'm not like, when I would live in the city, all you heard was like scooters, like loud scooters with mufflers at like 4 in the morning. You know, you couldn't sleep. And now I live here and it's nice and quiet. Look at this little neighborhood. It's nice and quiet and peaceful, and it's boring. And I think too, another thing is ever since I've been here for like 5 years, and you know, I've been to, I think every year I've traveled somewhere. As long as I've lived here, I've been to Korea. I went back to America once. I've been to Thailand and Vietnam, and last year I was supposed to go to the Philippines, but it got canceled. So I didn't have a chance to go. But you know, the thing is, when it gets like this kind of like boring, like I can fly out somewhere, and then it gets, and when I come back, I really appreciate living here. I don't know if you kind of get what I'm saying, but like, you know, I'm a type of person that needs to keep moving around. Like I can't stay in one place. So I saw a car. I want to take a picture of it. So yeah, so when I have this type of feeling, I tend to travel somewhere and I get the excitement, and then I come back and I feel so much better, and I feel really appreciative of where I live. And it almost feels like sometimes when I leave, I'm on vacation, and then when I come back here again, I feel like I'm still on a vacation, but just somewhere else, because I feel like this isn't really home for me. But now that I've lived here for so long, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that feeling again. So yeah, that's why I think. But you know, like when I lived in Shanghai, that place was always exciting. There was always something going on. And that's another thing too, like it's easier to go out and have a good time there in Shanghai, or in China in general. China, people usually never sleep. You can go out 4 in the morning and the streets will be so packed, because, not packed, but there'll still be people out, because there's so many people there. There's like a billion people there. So so yeah, like if you want to go out and hang out with your friends, you can take a taxi, because taxis are really cheap in China, in Shanghai. So you know, you want to have fun with your friends, you can. But like if you want to do that here, it's kind of hard, because you know, taxis are really expensive here, and I think taxis are more for like tourists, because it's like so overpriced. And I guess if you have a car, it'd be a different story. But in here, it's like the trains close at 11:30, and if you want to stay out with your friends in the city somewhere, you probably have to stay out overnight somewhere. You know, you have to sleep somewhere. And that's what a lot of people do. Like a lot of business guys, they go out, they drink, and then have fun, and then they'll either pass out on the street like in Tokyo, which happens a lot, or they'll like stay in one of those cafes, like where you gotta where they pay hourly, which is like, I don't know what it is, but you have to pay like hourly just to stay in those like cafe rooms, and they sleep in there, and then they have like showers and all of that. So it's very inconvenient for people who want to like go out. It's not like even like Osaka, I don't feel like it's like a young city, but I feel like it's the youngest city. Well, I mean Tokyo too, I guess there's a lot of young people out there too, but it's not like a place for someone who's in their like 20s or 30s. Like they do have nightlife, and it's kind of in a small area, but that's it. Like, and if I were to compare it to Shanghai, like Shanghai, there's so much nightlife everywhere. There's bars and clubs everywhere you go, and it's like everything's accessible. Like you can go there, have fun, then take a taxi home, which is like, you know, you can go across the city on a taxi for like $10. So, you know, in that sense, you know, it's more for like a really, like it's for a young crowd. All right, where am I? And I also noticed too, a lot of people, especially foreigners, when they come here, I guess this is more geared towards foreigners, because I feel like that's who's probably watching these videos. Yeah, I noticed a lot of the foreigners that come here, usually men, they tend to get married quick. Actually, women too. I know some women too that are married to Japanese people, but I feel like people tend to get married and have kids right away here. Like most of the people I know here now, they're either married and or have kids. Wait, not and or. They either are married, yeah, and or have kids. Yeah, but yeah, like if you work at like a school too, a lot of them have kids and are married, and it's like they've only been together like, you know, they've been like married and been together for like less than 5 years, you know. So I feel like Japan is a great place to have a family and to just live a nice quiet life. And I consider that kind of boring, but at the same time I think I don't think boring is bad, if that makes any sense. So I don't know where I'm going now. I'm gonna go through these small streets. And also too, I left America because America was boring. And you know, I'm from Chicago, and Chicago is pretty boring. There's not much to do there except for like drink alcohol. And the problem with Chicago is it's like winter for like half the year, almost 8 months out of the year, and can't really do a lot of things in the winter except for drink. And I don't know, I feel like America is a very party oriented place. Like everybody loves to party. I want to take a picture of this Sylvia. Really dirty. Yeah, I think America is the type of party where America is the type of place where everybody parties. Just like that Miley Cyrus song, "There's a Party in the USA." I think most of the people I know tend to party there, and I guess, you know, that's not boring. And I don't know, you kind of get tired of it after a while. But you know, like America, like okay, like Chicago is really fun during the summer. Everybody's having a barbecue. You know, it's like everyone's out. People are doing all sorts of things, like having barbecues at like people's backyard, or you know, having a barbecue or a picnic at the park, and that's fun. I miss a lot of the stuff like that in America. But you can only do it like a couple months out of the year. You know, you're gonna only do it like in, you know, July, August, 4th of July, and you're not gonna be doing that all year round. And even that, you'd probably get tired of it as well. So yeah, so America is also boring too, but also too, like depending on where you are, like if you live in the suburbs, it's probably going to be a nice place where you can raise kids. I feel like boring always equates to getting married and having kids. But I think probably that's why I'm not getting married or having kids, but more so the responsibility. But I think, and again, that boring, I'm not saying boring is bad. Like sometimes boring is good, and in this case, you know, people want to settle down, relax, you know, not go out to nightclubs, you know, have a family. Is this school even open? Look at this school. It's like I think this school is open, but it looks like it's not, like it's haunted or something. Yeah, so I think a lot of people here, the foreigners that come here, and I think going back to it, like for me, I don't like anime, but I love cars. Like that's one thing I do love about Japan myself, and that's one thing that excites me. And there are a lot of foreigners that come here and do the car thing, but that stuff is really expensive. Like, you know, if you're like into drifting, you have to buy like tires, you have to buy, like it's in a very expensive hobby. And if I could, I would do it. But the people that do well, like on YouTube, that are famous, I think they make pretty good money doing what they do. But where am I? All right, we'll make a right here. Hopefully it's not windy. Let's see how much time I have. 30 minutes. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go with this. I don't even know if this footage is usable because it's so windy. It's supposed to, once I make a left here, maybe it'll be less windy. It's supposed to rain all week, so I thought maybe I can make my videos now before it starts raining. Make a left here. Alright, where am I going? Alright, we're gonna just keep going. Yeah, I mean, the only experience I can compare myself is China and America. And when I lived in China, every day was really exciting. There's always something going on. There's always people around, and it's especially Shanghai, but it's such a vibrant city where things are always going on, and there's always so many things to do there. But again, I feel like that's a very like it's very like young type of city for young people. So yeah, so recently too, like me and my girlfriend, like I've been talking about traveling like almost every day. Like I'm just dying to get out of here. I'm dying to like experience something new, and with all the stuff that's going on now, it's really hard to do that. But I'm looking forward to traveling like real soon, hopefully within the year. You never know. Let's see if I can. Alright, let's go over here. I was supposed to make a left over there actually, so it's gonna be a little bit windy. Alright. A bit crazy over here. Alright, we're gonna go over here, then make a left. But look at this. Look at how nice this looks. This is what I'm talking about. It's beautiful here. It's nice, it's quiet, it's peaceful. Well, not peaceful on this street. We'll make a left over there. That'll probably be better. Alright, it's less windy. Alright, so I think too, if you want excitement, if you want like stuff happening all the time, the problem is I feel like the safety concerns, right? I feel like, you know, here it's boring, it's quiet, but at the same time it's very safe. And you know, it's safe because there's nothing going on, and you know, it's safe because you can get a nice, you can get like, for me, I'm just comparing, you can have a nice comfortable life with good insurance, healthcare, and a good pension. Like if I were to live back in China, it's exciting, but the hospitals are always packed. There's so many people needing like medical help because there's just so many people. There's no health insurance, there's no pension for a foreigner, and it's pretty unsafe for a foreigner to live there actually, unless you made a lot of money. And that goes for any other Asian countries as well, like Taiwan, Thailand, Philippines. I think Korea, you get a pension and healthcare. I think the more developed countries, they don't have. I think this is some like Amazon factory warehouse. But yeah, I think too, like if I lived in Korea, I would think eventually after a couple years, I would find it boring as well. And recently me and my girlfriend have been talking about moving to Thailand. Like we both want to live in Thailand for a couple months or even a year. The problem with that is, you know, giving up leaving Japan. Like once we leave Japan, it would be very hard to come back. And we both like it here, I think. We really enjoy living here, and we like the boringness of it. The problem is, I think because of this whole pandemic, this boring feeling has been here for a while now. Look at this. A lot of people just leave, if they find something on the sidewalk, they'll just like hang it on where like a gate or a post, so people can see it. If by any chance, you know, they can see it like when they go back, maybe it's like their route. So which is really nice of people. And again too, Japan, people are so nice here. One interesting thing, Japanese people smell very nice. I can't say all of them, but I would say like 90% of Japanese people smell nice. I don't know what it is. They use like, you know, they make sure they get, you know, that's another surprising thing too. I found out when I moved here that a lot of Japanese people take a bath every night. Which is pretty crazy. So if you're taking a bath every night, you probably smell good. And people are really nice here. You know, that's another nice thing about living here. Like when I lived in China, not that people are not nice there, but it's sometimes hard to live with so many people. It's kind of you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. So when I lived out there, it's kind of it gets kind of, I want to say frustrating, but it's kind of hard living there when there's so many people trying to do one thing at the same time. So that's another thing too. So like, yeah, so me and my girlfriend, we're always talking about what we're gonna do in the future. I think I've mentioned this before. Ideally, if we could just like live here and also live in other places, it would be really nice, but we don't know how we can do that. But I think I wouldn't be making this video if I got to travel at least this year or last year. And I think if you're a foreigner, and I think that's why there's a lot of foreigners who stay here for a long time. They live here for a really long time. Let's go this way. I guess it would be different if you lived in Tokyo. But again, I feel like, I don't know, it's just my opinion, but I feel like living in Tokyo is not very, I don't know, very easy to do, because it's really expensive. Things are really expensive. You're gonna be living in a tiny little apartment, and I think that's good, you know, for so long, but I don't know if you can do that for forever. And I think some people can do it for forever, but I think it's kind of hard to do. And I think I'm gonna talk maybe next time about where's the best place to live in Japan. And let's get through this group of people. But yeah, so I just wanted to explain that if you're a foreigner trying to come to Japan, depending on where you live, it could get boring. It could, you when you first get to a different country, you get the wow factor and you're kind of in that honeymoon stage, but after a while it dies out, and it can get boring. But at the same time, like, do I enjoy the boring? Sometimes, but I think I just need to go travel, and when I come back I'm gonna be more appreciative on things here. So especially when I go to somewhere like really crazy like Thailand or like maybe not the Philippines, but yeah, when things are like really hectic and wild, and then it's like sometimes it's like too much overload, like brain overload, and then you come back to here where it's nice and peaceful and quiet and it's boring, and then you're like, this is really nice actually. It's really calm. I like the quietness. So where is this? Maybe I have to turn around. But yeah, I think if you like, another thing, like, yeah, I wanted to mention too, like, besides animes, like, I know a guy who I used to work with. He loves temples, and Kyoto is a place where there's so many temples. There's like more than 2,000 temples and shrines, and I do make videos going over there, and they don't really get a lot of views because I don't think a lot of people are interested in them, but I like them. And the thing is, I like temples, I like shrines, but it's not like they're exciting. Well, maybe they're exciting to some people. I enjoy going to temples and places like that, but it's not like it excites me like, oh yeah, let's go to this temple. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. No, I like it because it's just cool. So yeah, it's really hard to explain unless you can feel it. But yeah, if you're someone that likes anime and likes wild parties, I'm sorry, if you like anime and you like temples and you like this peaceful quietness, I think Japan is really nice. And a lot of times Japan reminds me of America, like American suburbs. Like, look at this little area that I'm in. Very quiet, besides the cars coming in and driving, and it's just, people are like, it's about 5 o'clock. People are either coming from work, or moms are coming from grocery stores picking up their children. It's a very peaceful and quiet place, and it's nice. Yeah, it's very nice. And I think that's something really nice about Japan as well. Like, I guess if you want to go have the parties and stuff like that, you can go like live in the city, and you can have that lifestyle, and you can party till like 5 in the morning, or you can live out in the suburbs like me and just live a pretty boring life out here. So you can like choose to do that. But I think in general, and this is just my opinion, I think in general Japan is pretty boring. All that stuff you see on like, I don't know where you see the stuff, but like all the crazy stuff that you see in Japan, it's not for like local people. Like, you know, like the crazy like robot restaurant, or all those wacky things that you see like on TV or on YouTube, like, oh, crazy, and like only in Japan, this crazy stuff. Most people don't even like, you know, they're not like, people just live a normal life, you know. It's not like there's like I'm trying to think of something crazy in Japan. I can only think about the robot restaurant. I'm trying to think, you know, there's so many things, so many wacky things about Japan that you see like on YouTube, which I've forgotten all about it. But all that stuff, like local normal Japanese people, they're not like into that. They just have normal lives like everybody else in the world, you know. Like people just go to and from work, go to school, go to the grocery store. I mean, there are people that are into like the wacky stuff, but you know, it's like, it's just a niche market of people that do that. So it's like, oh, Japan is so crazy, they got like so many crazy things and all that stuff. But like, you know, like normal locals, they don't really pay attention to all that stuff. It's really for the tourists, actually, I think. And that's why this place draws a lot of people from around the world. Like, oh, Japan is so crazy, they got this and that and that. And they do, and I'm not gonna lie, they do have some wacky stuff here, but I think a lot of it is just trivial. I think novelty. And I think in every country they're gonna have some sort of wacky stuff that that is different from other places around the world. So you know, you can't, I don't know, you can't, well, I'm trying to think of something wacky. Yeah, I can't really think of anything wacky. Like you know, like there's always stuff like, oh, only in Japan, but then like when you think of it, like you can't really, like it doesn't really come up to your mind. But yeah, I think people who do travel here, they do, when they come here, they go to all those places that that the tourists go. So you know, it kind of like solidifies their idea of Japan. Like, oh, Japan's so crazy, they do this, and then they go to that place and they're like, yeah, you know, it is true. But like you go out to some of these like quiet neighborhoods like these, and it'll look just like your own home neighborhood. Yeah, so like, I don't know, I hope nobody takes offense to me calling Japan boring. It is just my opinion, and I feel like, again, like if you watch my videos, I'm not coming from a weird place. I feel like you know, if you know me by now at least, that I'm always trying to you know, I'm always trying to do things the right way, and I'm never trying to clickbait anybody. And you know, I wasn't trying to clickbait anybody with the title and everything. It's just recently I've been thinking about this because I'm so bored living in Japan. But I enjoy living in Japan. It's awesome, it's amazing. Look at this house. It looks like it's from somewhere from like California or something. It's probably like a really custom house. It has like a white picket fence. Are you kidding me? Look at this house. Look at this one, same thing. Look at this. They got like that like southern South American tile. I bet you they like know each other, or like they copied each other, because like look at the roof, and they got like this huge yard. It's pretty crazy. Like things like this, like you'd never see, right? And that's why I like making these videos as well. I like showing people like the real Japan, and just showing you guys like there are normal neighborhoods like these that remind me of like neighborhoods back home. Well, except for this one. But yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, lately I've been just feeling bored, and how I'm the only person that I know who's a foreigner that doesn't really like anime, and maybe that's why I feel even more bored sometimes too. Look at these apartments. It's pretty cool. I mean, my girlfriend watches anime, but she's not like really into it. Like she likes watching a lot of anime. She watches like One Piece or Naruto and all of that. She likes it. But I think there's a lot of people, I don't know if I would say anime freaks. I feel like freak is a negative kind of word, but there are crazy anime fans. And I think if you're that type of person and you come to Japan, this place is gonna be like knock you off your feet, you know? You're gonna be excited about living here. Just like living here and like experiencing like anime like everywhere. I think that's gonna get you excited. That's gonna knock the socks off your feet. But yeah, if other than that, I just feel like, and yeah, I feel like Japan is a really nice, boring place to live comfortably, and it's good for foreigners. I think and in total, like places that I've lived, I think Japan is probably the best place to live. And I'm just guessing in the world it's probably the best place to live for me personally. I think it's easy to live here. So again, if you don't like anime, if you like to party, you should consider, if you move to Japan, you should consider moving into like the nightlife area. But if you don't, the suburbs are a really nice place. And yeah, I hope I can use this video. I hope I didn't what's the word? I hope I didn't like just dilly-daggle, just kind of go on about it. Let me know what you think. Do you think Japan is boring? Or do you think it would be boring? Or would it be boring if you lived here? Or is the place you live boring? Because for me, I feel like my hometown was pretty boring, but I do miss the people. The people makes it fun, right? I guess. And maybe that's another thing that I could have talked about. I don't really have a lot of friends here. And actually that was gonna be in another video of mine, how I don't have any friends here, and that possibly could be a video in the future. But yeah, I mean, it also too, like, you know, you can be in the most boringest places, but if you have a lot of friends and family who are really fun, they can make the place really fun. So I don't know, let me know what you think. Yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching or listening, if you watched or listened all the way through. And I really appreciate you guys supporting this channel and watching these vlogs. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.